Alright, transfer case. These are both 243Cs. This one came out, yo, can you not? This one came out of the 3500 pickup. This one was mated up to the 4L80. You can see here, this is a different spline count than my original one. Then went to the 4L60. And here is my plan of action. I got to figure out, I know the condition of this one. I know this one works. This one I don't. This one's going on 300,000+ miles. I don't even know if that speedo works because I never saw this transfer case actually working. I don't know if the encoder works. I mean, who knows anything about it? I don't even know if the chain inside is still together. So what I plan to do is swap out this input shaft on the transfer case to this one. I believe, you can quote me if I'm wrong, but the 4L60 is a 28 spline and the 4L80 is a 32 spline, you know, something of that nature. So plan of attack is to take this apart, take the input shaft out and put it onto this one. And you know, the good thing is that I'll have another spare transfer case for parts. You know, I got to spare everything here. Spare yoke, encoder, if I got a connector or something breaks over here, a whole rear case assembly, a front half of the case, who knows. But now that I'm actually looking at it, the distance between here to here and here to here is quite a bit different. So I gotta do some measuring. I gotta figure some stuff out before I can go ahead and do the full swap over like I want. But let's get to it. All right, so it looks like someone's been in here very really recently. This is like fresh because it's still soft. Okay, slightly alarming for me not to use the transfer case again. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure here to make sure that the actual input shaft, how much it sits away from the seal here. I'm gonna make sure that it's the same on that one. This is the one that was out of the 454. That's the one that's original to my car. So as this distance is the same on both of them, then I'm good to go. I'm gonna make sure that everything matches up and make sure everything's the same, because I don't want this to sit too far inward and then the transfer case doesn't bolt up to it, and I don't want it to sit too far, you know, out away from the transmission, so I don't have enough engagement and then I end up stripping this whole thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. Take this apart some more. Alright, scratch that. So sorry, my voice is still coming in. This one is right at like 1 inch and like 3/16, and that one is sticking out about 2 1/8. So I gotta make sure that when I put this guy on here, because this is a 4L80, that guy right there, I gotta make sure, yeah, I can see PSL, this guy is recessed in here a lot more, and this is smaller for the 4L60, that when I swap the plate over, that it looks like this, because this matched up to here. Look at that. See how that sits a lot more flush. So 2 1/8, and I'll swap this guy out, and then we should be good to go. The Planet that had my 4L60 input shaft in there, and here's the bigger 4L80. There he goes, and put the snap ring in place. Then it actually came apart, not too bad. Transfer case madness over here, because that came apart. But this one actually is mine. This is actually cool how it works, but I'm not gonna go into the dive into all that right now. But we're good. Put it all back together. I did notice, since these two transfer cases are the same, I did notice that this guy right here, obviously the selector, nothing was here. There was like no pin that came out on the one that came apart on the donor car. You can see this hole, this threaded hole that's right here, because this plug goes in through the side. Did not, the one that came out of the Tahoe didn't have one, so I'm thinking there should be one in there. I'll look it up, but as of right now, everything looks fine. All the shift fork, the bushings, and everything here looks fine. There is nothing cracked and nothing shows signs of wear. The chain looked fine. There wasn't any more slack than there was in the other one. I'm probably just gonna get a new seal for that, for the front shaft, because it goes around right here. And then that's it. This filter here, clean. Magnet, magnet's a little dirty, but what magnet isn't dirty? And then that's it. I'm gonna start putting this back together. So now, this transfer case, this is my original one out of the Tahoe, is ready to go. This depth here between the seal to the front of the shaft is the same as it was on the other transfer case, and it should go up. Everything should be all nice and neat. I took it apart, and you know what, wasn't really too much of a difference between the two. The only big difference I saw, there was a detent spring in here for the transfer case lever that is inside here for the motor. You see the motor here, it turns everything. So mine was actually missing the spring, so it's kind of a good thing that I took mine apart. And it's not that bad. So the rear housing and then this rear pump goes onto here, or actually that's the rear pump. It's super easy to put together. There is a new seal that I got to get here, so I'm waiting on that before I put it all back together. But the main thing is that I got the input shaft swapped over, and we're gonna be good to go. There was literally almost no difference between these two transfer cases and how they came apart. The only real reason why I wanted to keep with this one is because I know everything works. The motor, the encoder, the actuator, the sensor. I could have just swapped everything from here over to the other one. Whatever the case, I know this one works, and we're gonna go from there. I also have the transfer case adapter. This is off of the other one that I'm gonna put onto here, and then we're gonna call it good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need this this seal right here, but then that's it. It was super easy to take apart. I got my other one over here, so this one is gonna sit here for spare parts if need be, and go from there. Or you know what, maybe in the future I could just do billet everything, you know. But super easy. Only thing you're gonna need is this guy. You're gonna need a lock ring plier, which I did not have, which I do have now. I ended up getting this at O'Reilly's with a coupon for $10. But then that's it. Transfer case is not ready. Waiting on a few things, and I could lock it in and put it all together. And, don't mind the spring. The spring goes inside here, but I'll seal it all up, make sure it's all fine and dandy, and then we are good to go. Waiting to hear back from my transmission guy so that I can get the two-door back up and going for the 4L80. Just waiting to see where I can source a case from, and then we're good to go. Other than that, that is it as far as the transfer case goes. And as far as the drive shaft goes, the drive shaft, I'm not gonna know 100% if it's gonna work out with the length. I know it's gonna fit. I know as far as, you know, the spline count onto here, but if I need to get it shortened, I actually found a shop that's here locally that can actually shorten it if I need to, so that's not bad. I mean, I'll spend what, $150 to shorten the drive shaft if I need to, and that should be it. These are all parts off of the old one. the encoder, the yoke, the actuator, the sensor, and these are all the ones that are off mine. And that is it. I'll keep more updates as I'm going. Oh, and then this is a front drive shaft. Mine, the front drive shaft, it's weird because this drive shaft and the drive shaft that came out of the donor car, the 3500 pickup with a 454 and a 4080, the drive shafts are the same length as far as the front drive shaft is concerned. So I'm hoping that with me having a 4L80, which is a little bit longer than the 4L60 now, the front drive shaft should work. But I'll know all that once I actually get the trans here and I can start putting everything together, and I can do cool stuff. And who knows, maybe when I put it in, I'll do a fat nasty burnout on the freaking thing and start doing some fun stuff. So yeah, see you guys in another video.